All right, everybody, welcome to Across the Bridge. And today I have a super exciting video for you guys, especially for those who are looking to make the jump over the bridge into our lovely garden state from the city of brotherly love. Because I know it's super intimidating to go from the city of Philadelphia and jump into the very large and somewhat confusing state of New Jersey, especially when so many cities have so many different aspects to it and so many benefits and so many downsides as well. Obviously, a lot of you guys don't want to be stuck going into the city that nobody wants to be in and realize that it's not that practical. All right, guys. So here today, I have for you our Philadelphia to New Jersey move guide. Just for you guys, because a lot of you guys have been asking about it. And as you know, guys, my name is Jordan Counts. I'm a New Jersey, Pennsylvania realtor, and I help home buyers from New Jersey and Pennsylvania make that jump so you can feel confident in your move. All right. And of course, guys, here's my contact information here. But in this document, we're going to really discuss the real cost differences between living in Pennsylvania and New Jersey. Okay. The three entry level towns perfect for first time home buyers. We're also going to talk about three move up towns for when slash if you're ready to upgrade into your New Jersey home from Philadelphia or Pennsylvania. We're going to go over practical tips for buying and selling across state lines as well. Okay, this is going to be super important. So if you guys don't have a notepad, I do recommend you go get one because you're going to want to take some notes here. Okay, and by the end, you're really going to know what's the best Philadelphia to New Jersey destination for you. And I'll tell you how to get your own custom homebuyer plan guide at the end of the video if you stick around. So stay tuned because I'm going to save you guys not even a thousand, I'm going to save you thousands of dollars and hours of stress. Okay, but first, let's talk about the elephant in the room, and that's taxes. All right. So, property taxes versus income taxes in Pennsylvania versus New Jersey are very, very different. Okay. For one, let me just give you an example. So, on a $500,000 home, you could probably pay around $7,000 a year in property taxes in PA versus $13,000 in New Jersey, which is a difference of around $5,000 to $6,000. That's a huge difference annually. If you divide that by 12, you'd get this number. And now I really want to talk about income tax differences, guys. Okay, because there are a ton of differences. In Pennsylvania, it's a flat fee. So you're looking at around 3.07%. And that applies to all taxpayers. Doesn't matter how high or low your income is. So that plays a huge role, especially because in New Jersey, we have a more progressive income tax structure, which ranges from 1.4% all the way up to 10.75% for high earners, which means, right, if you're a high earner, maybe it doesn't make sense to move over to New Jersey because you can make and save a ton more staying your butt right in Pennsylvania, right? But of course, taxes are not everything. New Jersey offers better public services, better transit. Pennsylvania may mean lower taxes, and it really just depends on your income. And so here's the key takeaway for you guys. Always compare total costs, property tax, income tax, commute expenses, and lifestyle. All right, so let's jump right in to my top three picks for first-time homebuyers moving from Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, all the way over to New Jersey. And right now we're going to talk about Magnolia, New Jersey, which is super underrated. A lot of you guys have probably not even heard of the city, right? But the price point is perfect for first-time home buyers. Kind of like I said, we're looking at a medium price sales price at around $310,000. They have a different type of homes here in Magnolia, a whole different variety. You got bungalows, you got Cape Cods, you have a lot of mid-century type looking homes. And the commute is excellent if you're planning to commute either through, from cars or from taking public transportation like trains and buses. Because it's right here, as you can see right here, it's near the Ashland and Haddonfield Patco stations. You can hop right on I-295 and use the Walt Whitman Bridge, or just go right on the Ben Franklin Bridge. This place is a great location if you still wanted to keep your work and keep your job and stay in Philadelphia. You definitely have the means to do that and makes your life 10 times easier, right? It has a small downtown. It's close to some big box stores. You got cafes, schools rated good or better. So it's a really great area. And by the way, guys, if you stay tuned and look in the description, you're going to get this whole guide for you for free. As you can see, I can click any one of these links and it will take me over to all the information I'm talking about in this document. So this is super valuable. If you want this, definitely go in the description, download it, send me your email, and I will send that right in your inbox. So, why does Magnolia work for so many first-time homebuyers? Magnolia gives first-time homebuyers more space and yard at a price that's still close to Philly budgets. I've helped buyers move from South Philadelphia, from row homes, all to get their first home in Magnolia, New Jersey, and now they're so happy because they have more space, more yard space. They have a house that's pretty relatively comparable to what they were paying in either rent or mortgage in Philadelphia. So it's definitely a good option. Okay, so if you love the idea of Magnolia but don't know how much home you can afford, here, click these links here below after the video, and you'll see what a 4-bed, 2-bath home gets you in Magnolia versus the Cherry Hill area. Which, if you know anything about Cherry Hill, I'm gonna spoil you a bit. It's going to be on this list, but it's super expensive. All right, so next up we have Oakland, New Jersey, and let's talk about price points here. So a median single family home is priced around $329,000, and the median after AVMV value is around there as well. So home style in Oakland, you're going to see a lot of older homes. So we're talking about 1920s to 1940s, which they are still absolutely beautiful, right, in their own right. And this is definitely the area you want to look into if you want to snag a deal. Because for one, it's a few minutes away from the Collingswood Patco train station, which, like I said, if you are taking the train to get to work, it makes your commute super easy. And you're also still around Route 38, so you can get to the Ben Franklin Bridge, and Route 70, so you get to Walt Whitman. So it's super easy, super reliable. The lifestyle in Oakland is probably one of my favorites for especially for a first-time home buyer type area. The streets are very walkable. You got craft breweries and a ton of great restaurants popping up. And if you guys, like I said, if you guys want access to this document, please click and check out these restaurants. You will not be disappointed. So why does Oakland work, right? Oakland feels like a mini Collingswood. And spoiler alert, Collingswood is on this list as well, and it's in that upper echelon type price range. But you get way more affordable prices here in Oakland. Young buyers, young home buyers get character homes and a great commute without bigger town price tags. So if you want to check out some Oakland homes, click that link right there. And next, my top favorite right now, because this is where I decided to buy my first home way back when, and it's Palmyra, New Jersey. If you look on the map of Palmyra, New Jersey, you're gonna notice one thing that I absolutely love about the city is it's on the water. Okay, absolutely beautiful, absolutely underrated, and a lot of people skip over this town because it does have a lot of older homes, and you don't really hear about it much. A lot of people pivot right down towards Pensauken or pivot up towards Cinnaminson. However, if you really want to be on the water and see a lot of beautiful homes with a lot of beautiful character in them, definitely check out Palmyra. So, median home price is going to be around $294,000. The typical income needed, you're only going to need around like $90,000, with obviously without any debts or any huge car and lease payments. So but it's still a really affordable town, right? So from Commute, right, you have the River Line, right, which is the train that takes you to Camden or takes you all the way up to Trenton, and you have the Patco. So if you wanted to get to Philadelphia, the ideal way to do that in Palmyra would be to take the River Line, go and hop on the Patco from the River Line, and then go right into Philadelphia after that. Or if you have a car, Palmyra is located right off of the Tauquonee Palmyra Bridge, so it takes literally 4 minutes to enter into Philadelphia from Palmyra. It's such a cheat code and such an underrated city. So if you're interested in riverfront living, right, they have this amazing condo community right on the water. Whereas where I bought my first home, my first condo, right on the water. It was absolutely stunning. It's super first-time home buyer friendly, and it gets my stamp of approval. Be the best first-time home buyer friendly condo community in New Jersey, hands down. Right? If you want to see a quick market snapshot of what these condos look like or what the what it looks like in that community, click in that link below and I will get you guys all set up to go check that out. So now we're going to talk about the big boys. If you're looking to make an upgrade from your home in Philadelphia and you want to make a move over the bridge and get into a really nice neighborhood with some amazing houses and amazing schools, this is going to be where you guys need to pay attention, right? So we're going to look at Collingswood because that's the first one on our list. Not the best, but the first one on our list. And we're going to look at the price point. The median price is going to be around $423,000. But you can easily hop on the Padco, right, and ride right into Center City. Super convenient, super comfortable for a lot of people. It also has amazing strip. You have an artsy main street. You have galleries. You have cafes. You have festivals. You have plenty of parks. This place is the place to be, guys. It's amazing. And also, if you're a fan of good scenery, and a good neighborhood who are so super tight knit with each other, Collingswood is going to be the place for you guys. So I want you guys do a favor for me, because Collinswood has such a vibrant culture. I'm gonna need you guys to go on Google Street View. Here's the link right here. Click that link and just walk virtually up and down the block and see the amazing food options to choose from. Also, if you want to check a peek at some of the homes they have here, click the link right there. All right, next up, my runner up, Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Right, guys? Cherry Hill, New Jersey is absolutely phenomenal. An absolute phenomenal place to live. If we're talking about price range, right, we're looking at under $459,000 in the median price range. Your required household income is probably around $127,000 for you to qualify. I do recommend not to blast and max out your approval. So this number is based off if you have no debt. So now let's talk about Commute. Okay, it's minutes away from Philadelphia. You can take the Padco Ashland Station, or you can hop on any of the major highways, guys. You got 295, you got Route 38, you got Route 70. You got so many ways to get around the state of New Jersey. And I'm not just talking about into Philadelphia. Cherry Hill, you can get to AC super quick, right? Atlantic City. If you want to go to the shore, you can go to Cape May, a relatively quick time in around an hour. If you want to go to New York, you can hop right onto 295 and hop right up north and go 995 and hop right into New York. If you're looking for a city that's located right in the mix and that has a ton of great food options, an amazing mall, an amazing array of home choices, Cherry Hill is going to be the place for you, right? So now let's talk about lifestyle. In Cherry Hill, you're going to get spacious yards, you're going to get top rated schools, and you're going to have shopping centers like the Cherry Hill Mall and the Garden State Park. Click these just to see what these malls have to offer, and I'm telling you, you're not going to be disappointed. They're absolutely amazing. So, why does Cherry Hill work for so many home buyers? Cherry Hill combines suburban comfort with big city convenience. Families love larger lots, the great schools, and the endless dining options, guys. As you can tell, I'm a big back. I love to eat. And if you guys are looking for an array of food choices and an array of different types of homes, Cherry Hill is the place for you. I know I've probably said this a million times for a lot of these options, but I'm telling you, Cherry Hill is definitely a place you should check out. All right, so this one's my personal favorite on the list. So if you want to see some homes, click here and you'll be able to check some out. But just because Cherry Hill is my personal favorite doesn't mean it's the absolute best on this list. So now we're going to hop right into Haddonfield, New Jersey. And we're talking about price points around $977,000, with a household income needed around $255,000. But Haddonfield is not just the home for regular normal people just like me and you, right? There's a reason why people like Bryce Harper and Nick Sirianni have decided to make this place home. And it really just comes down to convenience and architecture and the amount of food options, right? You could have guessed it, right? So let's hop right into why it works for people living in Haddonfield. So Haddonfield is exclusive, right? It's kind of protected with, the money, right? The amount of money that's needed to move into Haddonfield, it's pretty up there. So it's very exclusive. It's perfect for buyers ready for premier schools, a historic character, and small town atmosphere with top ranked schools, which make it a dream location for established families. If you want to see a home in Haddonfield, just so you can have an idea of what it looks like, right? Just click on my high-end house tour, which is a new construction home here in Haddonfield, so you can really quickly see exactly why people call Haddonfield home and why this place is a top spot for a lot of established fans. All right, guys. So now I wanted to give you a few tips and tricks to really help you guys absolutely kick butt when making that move over the bridge from Philadelphia or really any city in Pennsylvania. I will be doing a better video more in depth for the Pennsylvania suburbs and what cities really correlate to those Pennsylvania suburbs if you did want to make a move here in New Jersey. So please stay in tune with that. But so far, here are the tips you need to know if you're making a move from Philadelphia over to the Garden State. Number one, you need to hire a dual agent realtor. Okay, a lot of Philadelphians decide, hey, I'm gonna have my Philly agent here, and then I'm gonna have my New Jersey agent here to help me show houses over in New Jersey, and I'm gonna have my Philadelphian agent list the house, right? The reason why that doesn't work really just comes down to communication. Okay, if you have two separate people working two separate sides of your deal who aren't always in communication with each other, it sometimes ends up with you kind of not being in the best position. You need one agent who's dual licensed and completely understands both real estate markets, who's going to be able to show you the right homes that are perfect for your specific situation. As you know, I am a dual license agent. I don't want to plug myself here, but I will. If you want an agent who knows exactly how to get home buyers just like you in the houses, just like the ones you want, and save thousands of dollars in the process, definitely hit me up. Go in my description, set up a call, and we'll get you all set up. Next, guys, you really have to calculate the cost because I know a lot of people who moved from Philadelphia into New Jersey and didn't really see that through. In Philadelphia, they have a lot lower property tax, right? And also, when they make the jump over to New Jersey, they get hit with that income tax as well. So they go from making and feeling comfortable in Philadelphia to moving into cities like Cherry Hill without properly going over their budget and getting absolutely hammered with the lifestyle change and the cost differences between each state. Okay, so I need you guys to pay attention to that. If you want my personal budget guide that I give to my clients, is a budget calculator that allows you to calculate exactly how much money you need when buying a home, such as comparing saving for your down payment, saving for your closing costs, and also saving for other expenses such as your taxes and everything else that needs to be done. It'll give you a full idea of what you need to do to have your budget set up when buying a home. So if you want that, go in my description and I'll hand it right over to you. Because there are some great schools such in Pens because there are some great schools such because there are some great schools in Pennsylvania, such as Pennsbury. But if you wanted to make a jump and make an equally good school, you might want to look into West Windsor or Plainsville and Robbinsville. I can't tell you exactly which schools are best for you, but you're going to have to do a little bit of research on yourself to really figure that out. But don't just assume just because you're bouncing from Philadelphia, you're going to end up in a great school district. Okay. Next, I want you to plan your commute because this also kind of loops back into the total cost because you have to consider tolls, you have to consider train fares, you have to consider gas. I know gas is a lot higher in Pennsylvania than New Jersey, so you might be saving a little bit there. But you really need to make sure that the quality of life doesn't go down just because you decided to buy a home in New Jersey. So now I want to help my Philadelphians who do plan on wanting to sell their home in Philadelphia and buy a new one here in New Jersey because that is super important, especially because New Jersey is a little bit more expensive. You're going to want to make sure you get in net the most amount of money possible from your Philadelphian home. Okay. And number one, the first thing you got to do comes down to pricing strategy. Please, for the love of God, do not overprice your home. A lot of Philadelphians want to guarantee they make the most amount of money, so they shoot up their number as high as possible. The problem with that is that doesn't necessarily give you the best results. It gives you a result, but it doesn't give you the best one. For example, when you go to an auction, do they start off the price at the tippy top possible? No, and there's a reason for that. They start at the lowest price possible because a lot of people aren't going to want to pay $1 million for a toaster oven. But if you started pricing your toaster oven at $1, which seems like an absolute deal, you're going to have a million people raising their hand to buy that toaster oven. And eventually, that wave of buyers, as you increase the price, $1, $2, $3, $10, $20, $50, $100, eventually, right, you're going to get to a point where that momentum has brought that price of that home higher than you probably significantly higher than you would have than just starting at the tippity top. And now you can make decisions as a seller that aren't from the energy of compromise, but from an energy of options, right? Because now you have five different home buyers who want your house, love your house, and have already fought hard to get that price as high as possible. And the type of buyers you get from there are a lot different than the ones you start off high and now they're haggling you down and getting you on inspections and getting you on every single thing that you didn't really think about before you listed the home. Okay, so that's my number one piece of advice. Crossing from Philadelphia and New Jersey can change your lifestyle, finances, and home expectations. Towns like Magnolia, Oakland, Palmyra offer affordability and charm for first-time homebuyers. Remember that. Hope you guys wrote that down. And towns like Collingswood, Cherry Hill, and Haddonfield give more move-up buyers more space, better schools, and vibrant communities, guys. So when you're ready to map out your move, schedule a free strategy call and I'll walk you through my money saving playbook, right? And my perfect offer formula so your move is quick, smooth, and regret free. All right, guys. So click here to map out your home buying guide. And by the way, if you do set up your home buying call with me, I will give you $500 toward your inspection because I'm willing to pay to make sure you are in the best position possible when buying a home. All right, guys. Talk to you soon.